My fiancée invited her ex to our wedding and called him the love of her life as a joke. So I canceled the wedding. A bit about me. I'm 28, work in marketing for a tech company in Seattle, details change for privacy, and until recently I was engaged to my girlfriend of 4 years, Vanessa, 27F. We met at a friend's housewarming party in 2019. The chemistry was instant and we moved in together after a year. Our apartment wasn't anything special. A generic 2-bedroom with paper-thin walls and a view of an identical building, but we made it home. We even had a massive Maine Coon cat named Bowie after David Bowie for his mismatched eyes. He was basically our first kid, an orange furball who slept on my chest every night and attacked my feet every morning at 5:45 sharp like clockwork. Vanessa always said Bowie was more my cat than hers. She wasn't wrong. He followed me around like a dog and perched on the bathroom sink while I got ready for work. That I thought she was my soulmate. We shared a love for obscure indie bands, binged the same trashy reality shows, and 90s rom-coms were our Sunday ritual with takeout and a drinking game we made up. We could talk for hours about nothing. My morning routine included sending her memes while stuck on I-5. My coworkers teased me about how I lit up when she called. But there was always something with Vanessa, her obsession with pranks and attention. Not harmless pranks, but the kind that make people squirm, where you can't get mad because it's just a joke. When I got promoted to senior marketing manager last year after grinding for 3 years, she threw a surprise party at our favorite brewery. Sweet, right? Except during the toast, instead of saying something nice, she gave a speech about how I must have blackmailed the CEO and got lucky. My boss was there. My team was there. Everyone laughed awkwardly while I forced a smile, gripping my beer. Later, when I told her it hurt, she rolled her eyes, called me too sensitive, and said I needed to learn to laugh. That wasn't even the worst. When I proposed after saving for months for the ring, she pretended to say no. Not a quick, ha yes, but a full 5-minute performance of fake tears, saying she wasn't ready and needed to think, while I knelt in her favorite restaurant. People stared. An older couple looked ready to console me. Just as I was on the verge of a panic attack, she burst out laughing and said, "Of course I'll marry you, silly. You should see your face." I should have walked away then. But I didn't. I loved her. I told myself, that's just her. Loves pranks, drama, being the center of attention. My friends didn't like her much, especially my best friend Ryan, who called her emotionally manipulative and said I deserved better. I ignored him because love makes you stupid. That we planned the wedding for June 2023. Nothing extravagant, about 120 guests at a renovated barn outside the city. My parents covered most costs, adored Vanessa despite her pranks, and I handled the rest. Her parents chipped in for flowers and part of the catering, but they weren't exactly swimming in cash. I didn't mind. I was doing well at work and wanted to give her the wedding she'd been saving on her Pinterest board for years. A month before, I started getting weird vibes. Vanessa's bridesmaids went silent when I entered a room, then giggled when I left. One night, after too much wine, her maid of honor, Callie, said, "You better be ready for the big day," with a smirky grin. When I asked what she meant, she laughed and said, "You'll see." Alarm bells rang. I asked Vanessa if she was planning something. She gave me an innocent, "Why would you say that?" But the way she avoided my eyes told me she was up to something. So I called my friend Mark, the one everyone has who gives free legal advice at parties. We drafted a fake prenup, packed with legal jargon and one specific clause. If either party engages in public humiliation of the other before signing this contract, all joint financial obligations, wedding, honeymoon, shared assets, are voided immediately and a public apology is required. It was completely unenforceable but looked legit. On the wedding day, everything seemed perfect. The venue was stunning, fairy lights, flowers costing more than my first car, flawless. Vanessa looked breathtaking in her dress, which only made me more nervous about her potential stunt. I kept the fake prenup folded in my suit jacket, hoping I wouldn't need it. The ceremony started normally. My mom was already crying in the front row. She cries at commercials, and my dad, awkward but proud in his rented tux, sat beside her. My college buddies were there, including Ryan, my best man, giving me "you sure about this?" looks. All was fine until the vows. Vanessa's expression shifted. I knew that look, the one she got before every prank. She grinned, grabbed the officiant's mic, he looked confused, and announced, "I have a little surprise for my wonderful groom-to-be." She turned to the crowd and waved toward the doors. "Ladies and gentlemen, give a warm welcome to the true love of my life." I froze. Guests turned, baffled, as a guy walked in, Jason, Vanessa's college ex. They dated for 3 years before me. She once drunkenly said he was the one who got away, then claimed she didn't remember saying it. Supposedly they hadn't spoken in years. Vanessa beamed like this was the greatest thing ever. "Come on up, Jason." Jason, tall, frat boy, handsome in a suit probably pricier than mine, strode to the altar, grinning. The room went silent, broken only by awkward coughs. "You didn't think I'd get married without my first love here, did you?" Vanessa said, bouncing with excitement. I felt like I was in a nightmare. My heart pounded so hard I thought it'd burst. I scanned the guests. My mom was pale, my dad looked ready to explode, most were deeply uncomfortable. Then Vanessa turned to me with her biggest smile and said, "Honey, I couldn't say I do without making sure Jason approved. He was a huge part of my life and, well, we've been talking a lot lately." "Talking a lot?" I stammered. Jason slapped my back with a smug grin. "Relax, bro, it's just a joke." The bridesmaids, Callie, Jenny, Ashley, laughed like it was hilarious. But Vanessa wasn't done. "Oh, and for fun, I ran a poll with my bridesmaids," she said, still on the mic. She pulled out her phone, showing a group chat full of laughing emojis and bets on whether she'd fake hesitation or if I'd cry at the altar. One message from Callie read, "Bet $50 he cries like a baby when you bring out Jason." The room went dead silent. You could hear a pin drop. My mom looked ready to faint. My dad was red with rage. Ryan muttered, "What the hell?" Vanessa stood there, grinning, expecting me to laugh like always. "Come on, honey, chill," she said, nudging me. "You didn't think I'd actually leave you, did you?" That's when I smiled. I had the perfect response ready. The room was hushed, Vanessa on the altar, radiant like she'd pulled the prank of the century, bridesmaids still giggling, Jason beside me like he belonged there, half the guests pitying me. "Wow," I said, shaking my head. "This is incredible." Vanessa lit up, thinking I was playing along. She had no idea I'd been ready since Callie's comment. I turned to the officiant, an older man as horrified as everyone else. "Sir, is there a table for signing the marriage license? I need something." Relieved to have a task, he pointed to a small table with a white cloth and a fancy pen. Calmly, I walked to my jacket, pulled out a black folder and held it up for all to see. My hands weren't shaking anymore, just pure adrenaline and 4 years of pent-up frustration. "Ladies and gentlemen," I said, ensuring my voice carried through the barn, "before we proceed, I'd like to share a document with my dear fiancé." Vanessa tilted her head, her smug smile fading to confusion. "Wait, what?" I opened the folder, pulling out the fake prenup Mark and I crafted. It looked impressively official, stamps, legal jargon, the works. "Vanessa," I said, voice steady, "you know my lawyer drew up a little agreement before the wedding. Just a precaution in case you pulled something like this." I held it up for the guest to see the official seal. Vanessa's face drained of color, like someone siphoned her blood. "What the hell is that?" she asked, smile gone. "Oh, just a clause," I said, flipping through pages like I was searching for something. "Here it is. If either party engages in public humiliation before signing the marriage license, all joint financial obligations, wedding, honeymoon, shared assets, are voided immediately, and the guilty party must offer a public apology right here, in front of all our guests." Guests murmured. Some pulled out phones, likely recording. Vanessa blinked rapidly, processing. "Wait, what? That's not real." "Oh, it is," I said smoothly. Jason chuckled beside me. Bro, you're not serious. This is a joke, right? I turned to him, smiling. Oh, I take jokes very seriously. Vanessa taught me that. Sweat glistened on her temples, her perfect makeup smudging. Honey, this is crazy. You're not really mad. It was just a prank. I tilted my head, giving her the condescending look she'd given me after every joke. Why would I be mad, Vanessa? This is hilarious. It's all part of the fun, right? I paused for effect. So here's my prank. I'm canceling this wedding. Silence. Her smile shattered like glass. Wait, what? Oh, don't make that face, I said, snapping the folder shut. You had your joke. Now it's my turn. The wedding's off. The room erupted in murmurs and gasps. Vanessa's face went from pale to furious red. You're kidding, she shouted, voice cracking. I turned to Ryan. Ryan, would you do the honors? Ryan grinned. He'd waited 4 years for this. He pulled out his phone, tapped, and music blared through the venue's speakers. Not the wedding march, but Hit the Road, Jack. Some guests laughed, others stared, shocked. A few clapped. Vanessa, I said as she looked around, desperate for support, you thought this wouldn't go too far? Seriously. I turned to my parents. I think we're done here. My mom nodded, teary but with a proud smile. My dad started telling nearby guests the wedding was over. Then I faced Jason, still smirking like it was a misunderstanding. Hey Jason, I said, you like stealing fiancés? Congrats, she's all yours. That wiped his smile faster than I expected. Vanessa turned to him. Jason, tell him this is stupid. But Jason backed away, then another step. I'm gonna head out, he said, practically jogging down the aisle. Everyone murmured. The bridesmaids stared awkwardly at their champagne. Some guests laughed openly. Vanessa looked like her world was collapsing. You can't leave me like this, she screamed, her voice echoing. I turned one last time, ensuring everyone heard. Vanessa, you love attention so much. Congrats, you've got it. With that, I walked out of my own wedding, leaving her humiliated, exactly where she deserved to be. Aftermath. Walking out was the best decision of my life. Vanessa never fully recovered. Her prank went viral on TikTok. Someone uploaded clips. She lost friends, job opportunities, and even her family's support. Jason ghosted her, realizing she used him as a prop. I, on the other hand, thrived. Therapy, a better job, a new black kitten named Ziggy, and eventually, a healthy relationship with someone who respects me. Vanessa kept trying to contact me, but I never responded. Last I heard, she was struggling financially and still single. Moral of the story, sometimes the trash takes itself out.